Hi, I'm your host, Matt Prater, and welcome to Sports Talk Live. Last week, Don Imus made some controversial comments towards the Rutgers women's basketball team. His comments towards the team included calling the players nappy-headed hoes. Here, take a listen for yourself.
From Rutgers, man, they got tattoos and
some hardcore hoes.
That's some nappy-headed hoes there, I'm going to tell you that now.
On today's show, I have brought on 4 panelists to discuss Imus's comments. To start off our discussion, let's just talk about if we think it is morally right or wrong for a person to talk this way about other individuals when speaking about racism, sexism, and other discriminating factors.
This is way, I think it's morally wrong for what Imus said, but at the same time, what they did to Imus wasn't right. I mean, you can call people nappy-headed hoes, but at the same time, it's like you hear all the time from other people. Like, it's not the worst thing you could hear. He didn't use any profanity. He didn't do anything else to offend people. He actually apologized, and so I think what they did to him was wrong.
This isn't a game, and I think those kinds of comments are not morally right everywhere in the world. Morality exists as a good standard that is accepted from overall human society. The main ethical conduct people should live by is the golden rule, which states, treat others how you want to be treated, meaning that we should value the respect for human beings.
Okay, the second question for my panel. In the world of sport, with athletes getting second chances after making legal mistakes, was it ethically right to flat out fire Don for making a few discriminating comments?
Hi, I'm Damien, and for me, I think this whole thing's just gotten out of hand. I don't think what he said was right, and I think his comments were abusive and rude towards women in general, but I also think that these female basketball players have heard worse from just people in general from throughout their entire career. And so for one host to make these comments and kind of lose his job is far worse of a punishment than I think he deserved. And, you know, for me, when I think about professional athletes in the work setting, you know, in the world, these athletes are in the news being talked about beating up their girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever it may be. And yet they might pay a small fine, might miss a game or two, ultimately kind of a slap on the wrist. Or, you know, music artists, they talk about degrading women in the most racist, sexist ways, and yet people still listen to their music, nobody bats an eye, and it's still played through the radio. But when a radio host who talks about sports daily says a few comments about a woman's appearance, he loses his job, and I just think there's a better way to handle the situation.
My name is Sarah Glass, and aside from the world of sports, everyone makes mistakes, that's just a part of life, but I do believe it was ethically right to fire Don for what he had said. As a feminist and a former college athlete, women's rights and the desire for respect is an uphill daily battle. If you look at the attendance rates and ticket sales for women's athletics, the stats are always lower than the men's teams. Promoting women's athletics is already hard enough, and then to have someone discriminate young women trying to make their way into society, it's just hard enough to deal with all that. But yes, there are far worse comments with music and etc., but Imus should have had the public decency to keep his derogatory comments to himself.
We are short on time, so to close the panel, we're going to end with this last question. If you were in the position of the man firing Imus and McGurk, what would your approach be?
If this problem arose in my organization, I think there's a better way to find a solution for the problem in his racist and sexist comments. I don't think firing him would be the best solution because it doesn't really teach him anything, and I believe in, you know, teaching those who wrong is the best way to further educate them on the subject and make sure that it never happens again.
And to add note to Damien's, I think Don Imus should get a punishment, but it shouldn't be getting fired. I believe he should work in community service, maybe take a fine, but just getting fired in general is just too much, and it doesn't teach anybody a lesson, like Damien said.
Well, I think if I were on that position, I think the first thing is to establish the concepts of ethics and morality. And it is important to think about fundamental rationale for why these ethical issues occur in theft training would be the next one to complement.
And to add on what Insub said, I think initially that they should suspend him and then go over the ethical and moral rights as he said, and then look at it in a way of how the victims felt. And then not only that, it's just look at the company's reputation that he left. If he comes back, that reputation is still there, and those words will never be forgotten.
Thank you for tuning into Sports Talk Live. We hope today's topic helped educate future and current employers by taking a better approach to help prevent racist and sexist acts in the workplace. I'm your host, Matt Prater. See you next time.